Hey everyone, today we're doing another episode of my Hitman series. This is part 2 of Haven Island, so I hope you enjoy. Once I arrive in my room, I find a phone with a booty call number on it, so I go out to find her, and I get her a muffin. Whilst bringing her the muffin, I realize this tree looks a bit hungry, so I feed the tree, and then try and find her. I begin talking to her, but Agent 47 gets a bit busy with his eyes. The conversation gets pretty boring, so I just talk to her for a bit and then leave. But can you believe it wasn't even a booty call? She just wanted to talk to me about her services, and not those type of services. Later I begin casing out the area, and I find the nerd playing his chess game again, but this time he doesn't square up against me, so I just leave. But then I find one of the security guards, and I need a new disguise, so I take him down, and then start exploring. And I go into this cool villa, and I get stuck in the thick bush, and it's the first time Agent 47's ever been in a thick bush, so he doesn't know what to do. So I begin walking around, and I find somewhere ahead of me to get over the wall, because the bush gets too thick for him. I just guess if I can get over the wall. I'm not even sure, but luckily it lets me with these big strong arms. Now we're in the property, but I can't really find anyone until this random guard just standing next to this plane, and I really want to get the plane, but I have to wait. So I just pull out my hammer and then just throw it right into his head. I try and stay as sneaky as possible right on the shoreline, and luckily no one seems to spot me. I don't know how. There's people all around me, but luckily I get this guy in the bush, and then I just take his disguise. Now I can walk around the villa without being noticed, which will be really good. I decide the bush can be this guy's grave, and then I go looking for my hammer again, and it seems like it's gonna have blood stains on it, but oh well. After retrieving my hammer, I just begin to explore the villa and see if I can find any cool places. I do find a second hammer though, which is nice and clean and hasn't gone through anyone's skull. And then I find a banana and I start throwing it around the house and try and break it. And everyone just stares at me to see what's wrong with me. And then I put my banana down and they start getting all angry at me. So I try and pull off the funniest prank and turn on their vacuum, but then they start freaking out, so I turn it off and run. Whilst looking for the target, I find the security room, and someone's been watching people shower for the past few hours apparently, as it's the last thing that's been on. So I stare at this for a couple hours, and then I look and see if I can find the target, though I end up finding a thief who the target wants dead. So I go looking for her, but then I go watch the showers for a bit longer. Once climbing up this ladder, I look around, and people start freaking out, but no one shoots at me, so I just quickly surrender. I finally find the underground basement where the person's hiding, and the door's locked, but out of nowhere this random guy opens the door for me, so I don't need a key card to get in, which saved probably a very long time. I find the USB here in this locker. I don't know what's on the USB. Maybe he has some weird dragon hentai porn. I don't know. We don't know what this 40-year-old guy looks up. Anyway, I find this bodyguard here who protects him. He has an assault rifle on his back, according to my crazy analysis. They're just watching some weird movie, and I thought the bodyguard would spot me, but apparently he didn't. But he didn't even care about me anyway, so I begin following him, and I go over to talk to one of the targets, and I don't know why, but he's not wearing any clothes, and he just puts his hand out, and I give him his USB. He's probably missing all his dragon hentai porn, so he gets it back, and then I leave and I go into this little room, and he offers me $1 million and a bunch of random stuff. He puts his USB away though in a locker, and I realize this is the best time to eliminate the target, so I take down his bodyguard whilst he looks at me and then just turns around and acts like it didn't happen, and then I run up at him and I quickly take him down in like a sneaky play. I didn't want him to see me though, I was just kind of waiting, but I find the shotgun on the wall, so I start just looting that whole room, and then I end up leaving because I eventually get bored of the room, so I go outside and start exploring and see if I can get some good thumbnail pics. I try and get some good ones, but she keeps moving around, so it messes up my thick thumbnails. Then I find this man all alone, so I decide to put my banana inside of him and then break his neck. Finally I meet up with Vetrova, and she starts showing me around, but instead I just leave and I find the oxygen sniffer again, so I poison his oxygen, and then I go for a little stroll for a bit and wait for him to come out. And he takes his time, so I start getting more thumbnails for the video, and then I spot him sniffing the oxygen, and then as soon as he sniffs it, he just drops out cold. He takes his time, but eventually he drops down to the ground, and I can steal these keys to give to one of the targets so I can kill them. I start walking on my way to meet up with the target, and then I spot something out of the corner of my eye and have to take a quick peek. I then take many screenshots for thumbnail purposes, of course, no other reason. I stare at her for a good couple minutes, and then eventually I meet up with Vetrova in the spa. I go to talk to her, and then she just rudely gets up and ignores me. She just stares at me for a while, so I start walking away and she follows. I still think about that booty call that I thought I was going to get from her, but never received. So I walk into this room where I know she's going to go into. Eventually I get bored, so I decide to speed up the video. She starts getting angry at me, I don't know why, something about watching her have a massage. So I keep waiting, and eventually I find the perfect opportunity to take them both out. I quickly make sure to teabag my kill, and then I start having the most intimate experience of my entire life. I go over and give him his keys, and then I start to follow him, but then I see a security guard who knows who I am somehow, so I walk away and get distracted by this again. I take a couple pics for the thumbnail, and then eventually I go catch up with him. It starts to storm extremely hard, and then I look at the waves, and then eventually it takes me ages to catch up with him, so I run around across the entire island because they won't let me in on the private island. And then as I get to him, he goes back all the way, so I have to run back all the way through the villa and then meet up with him again. Finally, after 20 minutes of walking, I find him in the gym. This is where I instantly initiate John Wick mode. I whip out my banana, and then I look around to see if there's any people. I wait for some people to leave, and then I put my banana right into this guy's mouth. He drops down to the ground but doesn't die, so I just decide to shoot him in the legs and instantly kill the target. I start running because everyone's trying to kill me, and sadly I die on the edge of the beach. So I come back at the pool and start playing around with the floaties. I find another beach ball, so I start playing with that, and I accidentally pop my alligator floaty. I notice all the security guards around the map can see me, so then I go stealth mode and go through the building. I spot the final target, and I realize there's many security guards in the area, but none of them know who I am. So I try and find a good weapon. I whip out my silencer, and I just start shooting the target and everyone around him, and try and do it as silent as possible. I miss many shots and have to reload, but luckily I made a quick escape through out a window and then hid in a bush, and I just slowly started picking off the security guards, but one of them noticed me as I was leaving the bush, and I couldn't spot them. I looked all around, so I thought the coast was clear, and I slowly moved out of the bush, and as I ran out, I instantly got shot in the back by a bunch of security guards I didn't realize were right next to me. So this time I made a strategic plan to arrive before the target gets here and slowly kill all the security guards, so that I only have to kill him and no one will notice. I start putting all the bodies in the bush, and then as I put this body, the final body in the bush, I look around and I notice the target's just arriving. And so I quickly pick up this gun before he sees it, and I look around and I scope out the area. I notice there's only 3 people around me, so what I do is I just stand still and whip out my gun and see how many people I can kill without being noticed. I spot this guy in the corner of my eye, and then I kill the target and his bodyguard. Sadly, I couldn't kill him with my banana, so I just decide to whip my banana out on his face, but it slips between his legs. I slowly walk away, and I spot Shower Girl for the last time and have one last peek whilst being on the run. I quickly get my winter woolies back as a bunch of people was searching in the area, and the bodies were found, probably by Shower Girl. I slowly walk away, and it seems like I've escaped. I get on the beach and I start looking around for people, and I keep running, but I find the plane that I wanted to go on earlier, so I decide to leave on that. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and comment down in the comment section what game you want to see me play next. I'll see you guys in the next video.